YouTube, what's going on, man? So highly requested video. Many people wanted to know what I used to edit my pictures. So I've contemplated on a long time to make this video, but I finally gathered myself enough so I can make this video and show you guys how to do things. So first thing you need to know before we even get to the editing part is when to take your pictures, how to take your pictures, and also you need a person that knows how to take pictures, because you cannot obviously take pictures of yourself. So recently I've been using a camera to take my pictures, but back then I used to take unbelievably incredible pictures on just my phone, which is a Huawei P9. So for people that don't have cameras, do not be dismayed. You can still get the same look without all the extra shit, because you don't need it. So first of all, like I said, when to take your pictures, how to take your pictures. When to take your pictures depends on daylight, basically. You cannot just, if you have a regular ass phone, and I don't mean to be rude by this, but like if you have a regular ass phone and it's 2 p.m. and you want to take pictures because you feel good, it just won't work out in some situations. The best times to take your pictures for me personally is from anytime from 5, 6, 7 p.m. These are called the golden hours. I don't know if you heard of it, but it's called the golden hours, where the sun isn't too bright and there are not too many shadows and it's just brown. The lighting is just perfect. But the best, I would say, the best time to take your pictures is when it's cold, like when it's rainy or the weather is just dull, it's just gray outside. Those are the best times to take pictures, because then the light is more balanced and there are not many shadows or highlights. Moving on to number 2, what you need to edit these pictures is, I use my phone to edit my pictures. Back then, I used to use PixArt, Airbrush, Tools, Vasco, whatever they call it, and Photoshop Express. And yeah, it sounds like a lot, but I used all those apps for one picture. But recently I've simplified my whole process and I only use one app, two sometimes, and the main app I use is Adobe Lightroom, which you can get on your phone on Google Play Store, or Google Play Store. It is a bit technical because you're basically creating your own filter. You're not just using filters, you are making a filter, which makes it easier for you to have a more consistent look on your pictures, which I have. All my pictures they all look the same. So without any further say or do, let's get into it. Alright, so full disclosure, I made this video about 2 months ago, and by then I didn't do the voiceover, so everything that you guys hear me say is basically gonna be commentary. I'm watching the video and commenting as I go by, so if you feel like I'm a bit off, this is why. So let's do this thing. So you're gonna go to your gallery and you're gonna pick the picture that you want to edit, obviously, and I used the first one for this tutorial, and I'm basically gonna convert this into a Android picture format because I took this on a camera, so it takes up too much space if I want to edit in Lightroom. That makes sense, but whatever. So you're gonna share that picture to Lightroom and click Lightroom. One thing you have to know, you have to share. You cannot just go into Lightroom and look for the picture there. You have to share it so it's synced. Otherwise you will not see it if you go on Lightroom. So as we go in Lightroom, we see the one picture that we just shared. As you see, there's nothing else. This is why you have to share. So as you open the picture up, my base editing, I go to light, which is that sun tab looking thing where I do my basic exposure corrections like highlights, shadows and whatnot, but your main focus should be on this curve, this thing called curve, because whatever you do to the picture, if your curve is not made up a certain way, then it just won't look the same. So my base is, I usually make 3 pointers. First at the bottom line at the edge, as you see there, just pull that down, and then second in somewhere in the middle, and one at the top. These are for contrasts, skin tones and highlights, but you can play with that until you see it's looking good on your picture. So I always kill my highlights and whites because they just ruin the picture, as you see. And then I think I'm gonna leave it there, put my shadows down a bit. I like a dark tone to my pictures. That's why I always have like a I like my pictures dark. Fuck it. So as you see, that's what we just did. So next thing you want to go to is the color tab. This is where you have your basic colors. This is where the effect starts. So in here you can either cancel out colors that you want or don't want in a picture, and this is completely up to you which colors you want. I usually play with them until I see a look that fits. So if you're doing this on your phone, it's much easier than on a laptop. Fuck it, we're doing this on the phone. What am I saying? So as you see, you just play with it, cancel out the yellows. I always cancel my yellows out. I don't know, my pictures, I don't like my pictures to look natural or normal. Greens, I always take those out. But like I said, you play with it until you see a look that fits the picture, that fits the look that you want to go for, since you're basically making your own filter. And then blues, play with that. So this luminance is basically the darkness of the picture. You get the hue, which, as you can see, that changes the color. Saturation just boosts the color. Luminance changes how light or dark the color is. It's just that simple. And purples, there are not many purples here, but let's see what that does. So click on done, and then that's where we're at now. So the second main thing for your look is called the tint. If you slide this, I usually slide mine right, and then temperature, you play with that. That helps with the skin to pop out more without you having to boost your saturation and everything looking yucky. As you see, if you play with that, you see what effect you get, and I think I like it there. Now let's put it down a bit. So I'm gonna go to my saturation. I see too many people do this. I don't like that. I usually leave it where it is, or just I bump my vibrance up, because that just highlights the color. And then you see the tint slider. Very important, very important. Whatever you do, play with the tint slider and you see what changes. If it kills your skin tones, then just bump either the color or the temperature, then you achieve the look. And then I'm just gonna play with these colors again. Yeah, I think it's fine. And blues, luminance, done. All right, so we're gonna go back to the curve. Like I said, it's very important to whatever you do. And I think, and if you have done anything that you feel is too light or too dark, that's where you fix that in the curve. So third part is sharpening. Obviously, as you see, there's a lot of noise in the picture, color noise. So what you do to smooth that out, you go on this little triangle and you play with the settings. What I usually play with is color noise reduction, which clears out any weird colors, and then you sharpen to whatever extent looks good. And then we're done for this section. And then what you want to do is, what I always do, I edit a picture 3 ways, and then when that's done, I choose the best looking one and go with that one. So let's say you edit something, you save it, and then you go change something, you save it, you change something else, you save it, and then after that you just have a bunch of choices to pick from. And then I think I'm done with that. Go back to the gallery, and I want to go to Visco, damn it, that name. And then click the plus sign, and I'm just gonna look for the picture that we edited. Again, you have to go back and share. That's what I always do. It's easier for me if I share something. And I'm gonna go down to Adobe Lightroom. Picture 1, picture 2. Now, there are not many differences, but I I liked how this looked, and I didn't want to change too much, so we import that to Visco. Fuck, I don't. People should change that name. And then this is where I add filters if I feel like something is missing that I cannot add to it. And I'm looking for like a sunny summer vibe. So yeah, I think I take that filter and then play with the clarity. As you see, that helps make the picture more oomph. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, you see what it does. White balance, play with that. Can make it either cool or warm, but I think can leave it there. And then skin tones, obviously, but since we've already changed our skin tones, there's not much we can do here, so I'm gonna leave that. And then I just play with the filters. Again, you want to have choices, so you can choose whatever looks best. So I go through a bunch of filters until I see something I like, and next, save. Alright, so now we're done there. I'm gonna go back to the gallery and open up Photoshop Express. This is where I do the fine tuning. This is where I sharpen more if I feel like the picture is not that sharp. And what you want to go to the fourth tab here where these two lines are. First setting you have is the clarity, but since we've already added it in Visco, I'm gonna leave that. And then color noise, put that at maximum sometimes when I feel like there's too much color noise in the picture. And then as you see what it does, it clears out all the little noise or just small particles that just disgust me in a picture. As you see, it just clears things up. I don't know why I'm explaining it so technically. And then next you want to go to sharpening, obviously. Oh no, you can go to luminance. My bad. Luminance, you never want to have too much and you never want to have too little unless it's what you're looking for. But for me, too much looks too smooth, and I don't like smooth. I like sharp. I want details. And then you go to sharpness, which brings out the details in a picture. And you never want to do too much or too little again. But all this is completely subjective based on what you're trying to achieve at the end. Clarity, play with that. You never want to have too much or too little, as it shows. And then next thing I usually play with, I put the whites and highlights down if it seems fitting to like the edit that I've just did. And then the vibrance, you put that up if you need to, but I think mine was fine the way it was. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna stop. And then what I'm gonna do is contrast, boost that a bit, just bring those dark tones out, and then boom, we just save the picture. So like I said, 3 apps: Adobe Lightroom, Visco, Photoshop Express, completely free. You don't have to buy these, you can just download them. And then we go back to the gallery. This is the Adobe Lightroom version of what we edited. And then we go to Photoshop Express, and this is the final product. As you can see, perfect skin tones, summer vibes, killing it. So if you guys feel like I was going too quickly, or you guys have questions about anything, please comment down below, and I'll either text you back or I'll comment you back. If you guys like these videos, tell me, and I can do more in depth of different filters that I personally use on my pictures. As you see, this was the one that I edited before I made this tutorial, and then I tried to basically duplicate the look, but it didn't work out.